I wouldn't feel good. I would feel utterly negligent and irresponsible at this point in time to bring in another people when they give birth to children. It's a traditionalized, self-serving, established notion where we're going to have kids and have a family. To hell with the carrying capacity of the earth. To hell with the fact that we might be impoverished.
Like Bertrand Russell, Lord Bertrand Russell, the Huxleys, going back all the way to Sir Thomas Huxley, the pal of Charles Darwin. And they're all on board with exactly the same agendas to do with depopulation.
This is what all parents out there should be asking themselves. They shouldn't be having children for their own self-serving needs so they can have a family and be traditional and show up at church and have their 2 kids. It has to relate to something real. Humanity has to start thinking about its relationship to the earth. Until it does so, we're fucking doomed.
Population is the fact that we've expanded the population, as I think a lot of people have known, through energy and technology, and we're reaching a peak of our major established energy, and depopulation isn't going to be something that is going to be forced or something that's required. It's probably just going to happen naturally if we continue the processes that we have. As far as law and population, my disposition wasn't that was not that there was a requirement of law or anything like that. The real trick is to get people to establish a new educational, a new value system, if you will, that enables them to realize their relationship to the environment and what they actually do. I think, I believe that's what I stated in that interview that was done with me, was that people need to understand that they have to have foresight of their environment and realize that when they have children, it's not for their own self-serving needs, even though obviously there's an emotional, traditional aspect to that. They have to think about their relationship to the environment when they have kids.
If we try to visualize the future, it's the same families and all that stuff. So when I make movies on the future, I have to use families in there. There'll be no families. Most people won't want children. Get women to believe in having children. You know, children are a pain in the ass. They're not pleasant. They can't say anything new. They require a lot of your time. You can't travel. You can't do a lot of things. So the population in the future will be diminished. That everybody should have a right to their own opinion. Never give people the right to their own opinion.
Book that's called Ecoscience by John P. Holdren. John P. Holdren is actually the actual science advisor of Obama. He says that a world regime has to be imposed to control the world population. And I mean, do you believe that that book exists and John P. Holdren exists and all these people?
One of the frightening things I noticed when looking up Holdren's background is that he's a member of the Pugwash Conference, which was Bertrand Russell's organization. And, you know, this whole thing about the world society deciding over sterilization and eugenics reminds me of this Bertrand Russell quote where it says, "A scientific world society will be necessary to find ways of preventing an increase in world population. It cannot be stable unless there's a world government."
Paul Ehrlich also believes that right now the world is overpopulated and that we need laws to make sure that the earth is not going to die, because they believe that the earth is some kind of god and that when we bring children to earth, that we are damaging the world.
Is the system that's been created that is not expansive for the nature of the growth of population. In other words, populations are growing because we have more access to food and energy. This growth pattern, I think, will be curtailed naturally as education flourishes and a lot of the superstitions are eroded, and a lot of the basic value associations that are occurring are come to terms with, and people begin, as I stated, I think, in the documentary, people will begin to understand their relationship to the environment, and when they decide to bring in a child, they will understand what that actually means.
The abortionist uses this clamp to grasp an arm or leg. Once he has a firm grip, the abortionist pulls hard in order to tear the limb from the baby's body. One by one, the rest of the limbs are removed, along with the intestines, the spine, and the heart and lungs. Usually the most difficult part of the procedure is extracting the baby's head, which is about the size of a large plum at 20 weeks. The head is grasped and crushed.
I used to want to save the world. This beautiful place. But the closer you get, the more you see the great darkness within. I learned this the hard way, a long, long time ago.
What is your mission?
To stop the war.
What war?
The war to end all wars. Weapons far deadlier than you can ever imagine.
The war can be ours.
Wherever you are in more danger than you think.
I cannot stand by while innocent lives are lost. Be careful, Diana.
Who is this woman?
She's my secretary, sir. She's a very good secretary.
It is our sacred duty to defend the world, and it's what I'm going to do.
Possibly fight in this.
Fight? We use our principles, although I am not opposed to engaging in a bit of fisticuffs should the occasion arise.